I recognize Senator Young for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Chair. As chairman of the National Security Council on Emerging Biotechnology, I have dedicated a significant amount of effort on the topic of making sure that we have a vibrant small business sector that can commercialize the many innovations we make in this country. And one of the key recommendations we have in that report is the urgent need to mobilize the private sector by enhancing the reach and the effectiveness of the small business innovation research and small business technology transfer programs. These programs are essential for advancing early-stage innovation and scaling U.S. technologies. They are proven. They have been bipartisan, but we think they certainly can be improved. Mr. Hanas, you've been closely involved with the NSCEB. Thank you for your assistance. You helped us shape recommendations. From your perspective, how critical is it that we emphasize and incentivize the commercialization of emerging technologies? Just touch again on that, but as importantly, how much your recommendation to make China's United Front operatives register as foreign agents help advance that cause?
So, the first point, yeah, I mean, this is where China excels in commercializing technology. They never set the world on fire in coming up with abstract indigenous theoretical discoveries, but what they do exceptionally well is commercialize what anybody in the world finds. We seem to have exported or lost that ability to commercialize, and there was a time when we could get along okay with royalties from patents for inventions that we created, but those days are gone. You need to commercialize. And here we might draw a lesson for once from China, something they're doing. I was kind of shocked to discover a few years ago that they have what are called commercialization centers, which are anything from a storefront with two people in it to acres wide and stories tall complexes that exist solely for the purpose of commercializing technology, both foreign and indigenous. They don't discriminate. If it's technology, they'll commercialize it, getting it to market and or weaponizing it before anybody else does. I don't know that we have anything like that, and I think we might be able to learn a lesson from that. And your second question, Senator?
If you could very briefly, because I have limited time, but just touch on your recommendation pertaining to making China's United Front operatives register as foreign agents.
Well, clearly they are. No one's held their feet to the fire to this extent. And again, it goes back to data. We need to understand, what groups of people are involved. We already do understand that at a certain level, but we need to get this information into a database where it's scrutinized and made available to other people who can make these analytic judgments and execute these decisions that we make in determining, who are actually China's unpaid actors,
Sure.
China's influence operators. It's not done. It's hit and miss.
It seems to me a sports analogy is applicable here. A good defense is also a good offense, right? In this case, if we cut down on the theft of intellectual property, we leave it to our own market, our own investors and entrepreneurs, if we up our game with respect to commercialization, to deploy, whatever business model they think appropriate to take advantage of those breakthroughs, creates jobs and prosperity and helps our national security. So I think the two are very much linked. Ms. Della Bruyere, I'm sorry if I butchered your name. How can we better ensure sustained U.S. leadership in the development and deployment of emerging tech through your proposal to prohibit certain businesses from eligibility for federal procurement if they run afoul of any of the proscriptions that you suggest, data research, procurement localization, investment in Chinese entities? How would that work?
That starts with defense, right? Part of that is then we're trying to defend our technology from China's access.
Yes.
The perhaps more important than that, because fundamentally defense will only work so well against China, is that moves like that send a message to the private sector. And they tell the private sector that you have to make a choice between the US market and between China. And also that you can profit from investing in America, and investment in the US and countering of China can be a profitable thesis. The US's greatest strength is our private sector, but that has to be what's activated for the contest against China. It can't just have the government impose restrictions and think that that will work. So moves that force a choice and make US government support contingent on a competitive approach to China send a signal to the private sector.
Thank you. I'm out of time. Dr. Shivakumar, good to see you. I've enjoyed our work together. Chair?